Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It is Katie Joy. If you are new, welcome to my newest viewers, and if you have not subscribed, make sure you punch that subscribe, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. Is that how the cool kids do it? Anyways, to all of my subscribers, welcome back, and to my members that I see in chat, hey Lucille, Carissa, Jessica, Lady, I think that's all of y'all. All right, you guys, we're gonna talk. And Nicole, hey girl, hey Val, hey girl, hey girl, hey. All right, we've got an important update on a story that we've been following on this channel. You all know that I am this very bleeding heart kind of mama that has a child that has medical issues and has had a lot of surgeries. And when this case dropped into the major, wider outlets of the media, this specific case drew interest because there was some allegations about a little girl that who has a form of dwarfism. And according to the adoptive mother, they were claiming that she was actually an adult, not a child. Well, the crux of this case revolves around that and that alone. According to a court case in Indiana, prosecutors in Marion County allege that Michael and Kristine Barnett actually abandoned a young girl who was adopted from Ukraine with a form of dwarfism, and they claimed that the girl was left to fend for herself at the age of 8 years old. They say they abandoned the girl and then fled to Canada due to... Oops, sorry you guys, I don't know what's going on. They fled to Canada because their oldest son was going to be enrolled in a master's degree program because he was incredibly smart and gifted on the autism spectrum, and his mother, Kristine, had written a book about her success helping him thrive. Now, what happened? Well, they say that in 2012, they left this little girl alone. They rented her an apartment, and she had to live by herself. But before she left, the parents took the weird step of having her declared legally an adult and then putting her in an apartment, making her go to adult education classes, and setting her up with disability through Social Security. Now, so in Indiana, Kristine and Michael Barnett are actually charged with multiple felonies related to child neglect. But two things happened this week in court. I don't know what is going on here. Two things happened in court in there. So, in court, two separate things happened. I'm sorry, it's in Tippecanoe, not in Marion County. Got the wrong county. All right. So, an attorney for Michael Barnett actually was fighting with prosecutors because they wanted to add 4 additional charges of neglect causing bodily injury on top of the already 2 charges of neglect of a dependent filed in September. Basically, a judge denied that. Prosecutors said that they actually needed to add these because the Barnetts abandoned Natalya when she was in need of multiple surgeries that would have helped to improve her life and decrease any pain related to... Okay, sorry about that. So, prosecutors say that the doctors met with the Barnetts when they first adopted her and let them know that there was a timeline of surgeries that needed to be completed due to her congenital dwarfism that she was born with, right? Because of that, she had surgeries that she needed to have for her legs, for her feet, for her wrists, for her arm, and for her spine. And they had put together a timeline of different surgeries that would have to be done over the course of several years. Well, when they changed her age legally, instead of actually going through with the surgeries, Natalya didn't have any of those surgeries. So what happened is a doctor an orthopedic surgeon at Dr. at the Dr. Helen DeVois Children's Hospital in Grand Rapids, Michigan, examined Natalya in 2017 and 2018 and diagnosed her with dystrophic dysplasia, club feet, joint issues at every level, and required but was unable to obtain surgery on her spine, hip, hand, and possibly wrist. Miss Maskell, Dr. Lisa Maskell, who actually looked at her, the orthopedic surgeon, told investigators that because of the delay in the medical care and surgeries, the surgeries will be more involved and the treatment will take a longer period of time for Natalya. She also noted that Natalya is suffering with pain and trouble moving because she didn't get those surgeries. So basically, not only did they abandon this little girl, they also neglected her medical needs by not getting the surgeries that she needed in order to have a better quality of life. So anyways, a judge approves this in court and they upgrade the charges. So what they do is a judge ends up adding multiple charges related to the fact that she did not have those surgeries. So the judge they amended the charges based on that doctor's claim, and that was that Natalya's significant disabilities could have been mitigated if her adoptive parents had kept up with her medical needs. So what they are charging her with is 4 additional charges of neglect causing bodily injury. Yikes. That's on top of the child neglect. So they are going. Okay, sorry about that. So what does that mean? It means that Michael and Kristine Barnett will have 2 separate trials. Michael's trial will start on June 22nd, and Kristine's will start on July 27th. And with the upgraded charges, their maximum time in prison has increased. So they are facing anywhere from 6 to 20 years in prison on the most serious charges if they're convicted. 6 to 20 years. So the new charges are actually above a level 6 felony, which was what the original charges had been. Now, one aspect of this case that has been really contentious was, what is Natalya's age? Kristine Michael had her age legally changed before they abandoned her in 2012. Her age was changed to 22. Well, a woman in Ukraine stepped forward and spoke to the Daily Mail and says that Natalya is actually her birth daughter. She claims that she gave birth to Natalya in 2003, and because of the form of dwarfism that her daughter had, doctors urged her and forced her to give her up for adoption, and Natalya was then placed in an orphanage. That same orphanage is the same place that Natalya was sent from to the United States when another couple agreed to adopt her. Records obtained during the adoption process showed that her birth date was in 2003. Now, the Barnetts have said that those documents were falsified, they weren't real, they weren't true, but the mother in Ukraine says that's not true. This is my daughter. I was told she was being adopted out. I know that's her. So here is the mother, and there's Natalya. I'd say they look pretty similar here. So what did a judge do? Well, the prosecutors said that there's enough evidence to suggest that this woman's claims that she is the birth mother of Natalya to be factual. And so what they're going to do is they requested that a DNA swab be taken from Natalya and then a DNA swab be taken from the woman in Ukraine and match to see if this is her biological mother. And if this is her biological mother, the age of Natalya would be settled. She would be 16 years old. So this is actually a really good, I'd say, exciting part of this case, is that we could get some resolution to her age. I see a resemblance here. She also looks, the mother had showed her photos also of Natalya's siblings, who she also looks like. She was on, during an episode of Dr. Phil when Natalya was on there with her now kind of adoptive parents. They can't adopt her because legally she's considered an adult, which has also impacted her ability to go to high school. She's struggled to she's basically been robbed of an entire childhood because the Barnetts wanted to dump her off and not have to deal with the amount of surgery she had, the inconvenience of raising a child with this many needs. And ultimately, if we can settle the age, that will paint Kristine and Michael into an even worse light. I mean, if that's even possible. You've already basically admitted that you left a child, even if she was an adult, they've admitted that they left a vulnerable adult with no resources, who wasn't from the United States, alone with no one to fend for herself when she had never cared for herself. But then if they dumped her and left her in that house when she was 9, it's like a million times worse. So I'm going to be interested to see what the results will be in this case. I'll be interested as well to see how this all plays out and whether or not, when the case, I feel like when this case actually goes to trial, it's going to grip everyone. And I don't know if they're going to actually take a plea deal in this. These are some pretty serious charges. And so far, Kristine and Michael are standing by the fact that they believe they didn't do anything wrong and that they believe she was an adult. Even though Michael told police officers or detectives this past summer that he knew she wasn't an adult when he left her. All right, you guys. So this is our latest update. Does this surprise you? Is it a good news? I think this is great news. What are your thoughts about the potential of being able to actually get her age determined? And what do you think about the additional charges? I think it's awful that they had a schedule that they needed to stay on, that they did not get those surgeries for her, and that it's even more awful to me because now she's in pain and she's suffering because she didn't get those surgeries. And a surgeon said if she has these surgeries, it's going to take her a lot longer to actually recover, and it's going to be a more extensive process, which is typically why they like to correct some of these issues when you're children, because you're still growing and your bones are still growing and you're not fused. It's always easier for kids to recover from surgery than adults. So if they did this and she didn't get those surgeries and now she's suffering, shame on the parents for leaving her. All right, you guys, I'll keep you posted and abreast of anything new and developing on the story. If you guys have comments, questions, or concerns, put them in the comments below. If you want to follow me on Instagram, make sure you do at Without a Crystal Ball, on Facebook at facebook.com/withoutacrystalball, and on Twitter at WOACB official or Katie Joy YT. All right, you guys, I'll be back in a little while.